number of barriers, but also part of an unprecedented race for the White House.
No doubt about it. So it is the second female Democratic nominee ever in history. It is the first ever woman of color, Black woman, South Asian descent woman on the ticket here. Lots of firsts for Kamala Harris. She's very familiar with being first. She's been the first in almost every political job that she's had. And so being first is nothing new to her, but it is part of the what we are seeing with the Democratic Party. Part of what this 12-day just like whiplash speed of coalescing around her is this excitement about inside the party about what she represents, what she brings to the ticket. And part of that is also her age, guys. I mean, she, in the switch from Biden to Harris, you lost, 20 years or more on the ticket. And that was the biggest concern voters had and Democrats had about Joe Biden's candidacy. And that got erased in a moment. Add in all these other sort of firsts. You see it in the fundraising, you see it in the organization signups of people wanting to participate. And you just saw it with the speed with which anyone else who was even considering this in those weeks of like, hey, Joe Biden may not be there. Is there an opening here for me? I mean, within hours, you recall, they were endorsing Kamala Harris. So this is a sort of a culmination of what has just been
Actually, I think Harris is speaking. I'm so sorry, David.
Sure, no
Harris
problem.
is speaking now on the call. Let's listen.
For everything that you are doing, and to everyone on the call, thank you for your hard work and all you have been doing over these last many, many, many months. And I know that we are excited about the future, but we also know that we got a lot of work to get there, and we have a lot of work to do. It's good work. We like hard work. And I just want to thank everyone for joining this call. Listen, I think we all approach our campaign with the same spirit, including that this is truly a people-powered campaign. And I would not be on this call right now and with you all were it not for your support and your trust, for which I am deeply grateful. I am honored to be the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States. And I will tell you the tireless work of our delegates, our state leaders and staff has been pivotal in making this moment possible. And your dedication cannot be overstated. Your dedication to our country. I know we all feel this way so strongly. We love our country. We believe in the promise of America. And that's what this campaign is about. So, of course, I will officially accept your nomination next week once the virtual voting period is closed. But already I'm happy to know that we have enough delegates to secure the nomination. And later this month, we will gather in Chicago, united as one party, where we're going to have an opportunity to celebrate this historic moment together. And again, this campaign is about all of us coming together, people coming together from every walk of life, every lived experience, and being fueled by our love of country, knowing that we are prepared to fight for the best of who we are. We believe in the promise of America, a promise of freedom, opportunity, and justice, not just for some, but for all. And ultimately in this election, you all have heard me say many times, we each face the question, what kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law, or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? And the beauty of our democracy is we each, every one of us, has the power to answer that question. And that is why I say and know the power is with the people. So here's the bottom line. I say to all the friends on the call, we are going to win this election, and it is going to take all of us, whether it is making calls, connecting with our communities, engaging online, or even talking with people where we go every day, whether it be to the grocery store or our church. We are going to talk with people about the fact that we are all in this together and we stand together. And so let's let folks know that our campaign is about the future, and it's about an expansion of rights and freedoms and for the opportunity of everyone to not just get by, but to get ahead. So November 5th is 95 days away. And North Carolina, for everyone there, you're kicking us off with absentee ballots that are being sent in just 35 days. So We are in this, everyone. We are in this. We are on the road. And you know, it's not going to be easy, but we're going to get this done. And as your future president, I know we are up to this fight. And when we fight, everyone will say in unison, we win. So thank you, everyone. Please take care. And I can't wait to see you in Chicago. And thank you again, Jamie.
When I tell my patients to avoid moisturizing their paper-thin skin, they look at me like I'm crazy. However, after I share with them the truth behind why this good skin habit makes their craving.
We've been
All right, everybody. You just heard it here first. Perfect Time Podcast with the Blast. Kamala Harris has secured virtually enough votes to become the Democratic nominee for the president for 2024. That was just Kamala Harris on a phone call, roll call, where this has been virtually done. Like we told you in our first 2 episodes of this series, we're going to watch this whole thing all the way to the election. It's not that many days. It's 95 days until the election. And like she said, just in 35 days, the voting will begin. So we're going to track this all the way to November 5th. She did not go through a primary. She didn't win a primary in 2020. She has not won a primary in 2024. But as you know, the president is not elected by votes. The president is elected by delegates, super delegates. So she has secured enough delegates in the DNC to become the Democratic nominee for president. The DNC convention, much like the RNC convention, I told you this in our first 2 episodes, that they wanted a coordination versus an open convention for more opportunity for justice and an American way, so that she can have challengers, right? So that the American people finally get a chance to actually vote on whether or not they want her. Because the American people, get this understood, the American people, you, even though you're so happy, you did not choose Kamala Harris. The rich Democratic elite chose Kamala Harris. They didn't give you a chance to vote for Kamala Harris. And now the DNC convention has been turned into a coordination. Let's continue and let's see what else this panel has to say. But again, it's August 2nd. It's 12 o'clock on the West Coast. And Kamala Harris virtually, now I think this is the first time in history that this has been done since COVID. She's virtually secured the delegates over the phone, over a Zoom call, so that they can have a coordination next week at the DNC convention. Let's see what else they have to say. Perfect Time Podcast with the Blast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Kamala Harris is now the Democratic nominee. Never won a primary in 2020, didn't win a primary in 2024, not one primary vote, which means the American public, the average everyday American citizen, did not vote for what is happening now. You voted for Biden. Biden got 14 million American votes to be the Democratic nominee, but that is not who was running against Trump. You did not get one vote. You get a vote. What they're telling us, you get a vote November 5th, but let's see. You get a vote November 5th, but let's see. Let's see what else they got to say.
Thank you, everyone. Please take care, and I can't wait to see you in Chicago. And thank you again, Jamie.
We've been listening to Vice President Kamala Harris accepting the presumptive presidential nomination for the Democratic Party. Obviously a historic moment. She becomes the first Black woman and the first Asian American to lead a major party ballot. She said on the call that she was excited about the future, but she emphasized this multiple times. There's a lot of work to do. It's not going to be easy. She said she was looking forward to the convention to celebrate as one party. David, we'll go back to you. Part of the reason that they're doing this digitally is because there was a moment where Democrats feared they may have a bit of a snafu at the convention.
Yeah, specifically in Ohio, the Republican legislators there were saying they weren't going to sort of give a waiver, given that the convention is slated to happen after their deadline. But Governor DeWine changed that, signed a law, and it's not really a threat. Nonetheless, they stuck with their plan. We saw this, by the way, in the pandemic 4 years ago. They also did a virtual vote like this. We should note, she didn't say she was accepting it on this call. What was announced here by DNC Chairman Jamie Harrison is that she has secured enough delegates to be the Democratic nominee. She hit over that 50% plus one threshold, but the voting is still open. And so delegates are still getting in their ballots. And so she clearly wanted to not shut that off and allow more time, and said that when the voting period comes to a close, then she would formally accept the nomination. Of course, we'll see her publicly in a grand fashion accept the nomination when she delivers that speech in Chicago.
And no one is running against her. Is
Correct.
I mean, I'm taking a look at the delegate ballot.
I heard her say, as the next president. I heard her say, as the next president. So I didn't hear anything about this grand gesture for letting people have a democratic process and vote. I heard her say definitively, I will be the next president, and as your next president, we will fight, and when we fight, we win. That's what I heard. Back to the video.
Official ballot, it's Kamala D. Harris or present. So there you go. That's what it was. And listen, despite her referring to herself as the presumptive nominee and emphasizing that it's going to be at the convention, the Democratic Party and Kamala.
Okay, that confirms what she heard, what I heard. She heard what I heard. Get it right.
Harris, they just got married. Maybe the wedding is in 2 weeks and change, but like, it's done. It is signed. It's official. They have made her the nominee with this. She's over the threshold. It's official. I wonder, in your reporting, as you're talking to voters, if there's any sensitivity, as we did think at one time there might be, to this idea of a coronation in what has also given the Democrats kind of an orderly transition to Kamala Harris.
I was in Michigan this week talking to a lot of voters, and there was no talk of a coronation, even among Joe Biden superfans. And the reason for that is Donald Trump.
No
He is
bother
absolutely
of
unified.
it. Interesting.
Yeah, he is unified.
I said coordination several times. How many times have we said coordination? In every episode of this episodic podcast series, I told you that they would be doing a coordination. Now you're going to tell me that no one's talking about a coordination? What the? Shut the front door. Shut the front door. Honest, if I'm a Democrat, if you care about justice, you should want to know this. So there were challengers in Chicago. There were issues with the Republican Party in Ohio in the legality of this virtual roll call outside of the pandemic. And he just admitted that the governor changed the law in Ohio in order for this to happen. And they're shutting down other people who want to be part of the democratic process in Chicago. Are you guys actually listening? That's why I'm doing this, to interpret and break down what's actually happening, because people are just so glee and giddy about the fact that a black woman is running for president and no one's paying attention. No one is paying attention. As they said, the governor changed the law, basically broke the law. Basically broke the law in order. Let's keep going.
We saw earlier this year, perhaps from some people challenging Joe Biden. What is happening now is Democrats look more like Republicans in Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. They seem unified, which is not normally how this party has been, certainly in terms of policy and things. But I have not really picked up any whiff of talk of coronation, privately perhaps by some people who, might have thrown their hat into the ring. But as Isaac said, there's no one else on the ballot. That happened in an instant that Sunday. And we are less than 2 weeks since 2 weeks ago today. We're heading into the weekend. Joe Biden was still running, and we weren't sure if he was getting out. Now look at this.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Kamala Harris virtually secures the Democratic nomination for 2024 president. The DNC convention will be a coordination. As I stated here 2 episodes ago, we're going to follow this whole thing all the way down to the funky town. That's right. We on the train. We on the Kamala train. Come on, ride the train and ride it. Come on, ride the train And ride it. We on the train. We on the train all the way to Funky Town. Kamala, here we go. 2024. Kamala coordination coming up at the DNC. She virtually secures enough votes to be crowned the Democratic nominee. And she says on the call that she will be the next president. And when she's the president, we are going to fight. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think America's tired of fighting. America's tired of wars. But maybe you guys are willing to fight some more and go to war again just so you can get to have your king. Thank you for watching First Time Podcast with the Blast, coming through real fast. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, share this video, share this video, share this video. Make sure you watch this video right here so you can catch up on all the episodes of this episodic series, Kamala versus Joe Biden versus Trump 2024.